Get ready for an exhilarating journey into the boundless world of imagination. Welcome, comic book enthusiasts, to the extraordinary realm of Out of Obscurity. This groundbreaking anthology, published by Arrow Comics, unveils a legion of aspiring creators, each eager to leave their mark on the industry. Prepare to be captivated as they breathe new life into obscure public domain characters, creating their own unique tales within the pages of this awe-inspiring collection. Out of Obscurity is a testament to the unwavering passion and creative prowess of these emerging talents. They have meticulously resurrected forgotten heroes and heroines, spinning intricate yarns that span the ages. Brace yourself for action-packed battles, mind-bending mysteries, and heartwarming triumphs that will transport you to uncharted territories of excitement. By supporting our Fund My Comic campaign, you become an essential part of this historic endeavor. Together, we can catapult these aspiring creators towards their dreams of comic book glory. Join us on this epic odyssey and witness the birth of new legends. Your generous contributions will not only help us bring Out of Obscurity to life, but also grant you access to exclusive rewards, including remarkable artwork, signed copies, and behind-the-scene glimpses. Embrace the spirit of adventure, for within these pages, untold wonders await. Together, let us ignite the spark of greatness within these visionary talents and redefine the landscape of the comic book universe. Be a part of history and make Out of Obscurity a reality.
Years ago, America passed the 28th Amendment,
virtually enslaving anyone with special abilities into government service, or forcing them to live as ordinary citizens.
With his team disbanded,
America's foremost protector and hero for a century had been betrayed by the very institution he swore to serve. Erased from its history books, his every exploit was covered up. Now, in a place called Little Bighorn, the greatest hero America has forgotten will come out of retirement to take down the very institution he once served,
assembling a new team of superpowered individuals wielding abilities never before witnessed.
In a country that has banned its heroes, it's time to root for the criminals. Let's start a new revolution.
I wanna know what you're thinking. There are some things you can't hide. I want to know what you're feeling. Tell me what's on your mind.
Hey there, this is Cooper from Telepathic Bunny Comics. Already got one comment over here. This is my good buddy Aaron from Immortal Rising. Hail, what's up, dude? Anybody wants to come on, that link is live. There you go. Anyway, so today I'm going to start out with my usual review. Oh, what's up? Romo Art, my man. What's up, dude? And Frost Comics. Hey, dude. Hey, guys. Good to see you. I know everybody's at work and busy. So, but that link is live if anybody wants to hop on or has the time. Anyway, so I also have a little special for you guys. Anime came back with something, and I'm going to play it for you. I just got it right before showtime. So, I'm probably going to go back and re-record the voices. The voices aren't exactly what I had in mind. So, but everything else is just it's just so freaking awesome. Can't wait to show you this. Anyway, by the way, Romo Art did a cover for me. I've got it currently working. Skunk Artworks is doing the painting on it, and it's going to be a Norman Rockwell homage, and I really think it's going to be cool. Oh hell yeah! Anime in the house, yeah. Anime said he enjoyed working on it, so and he seemed to have a good time. But he's the kind of guy that likes to create for other people, and that's how it, that's how he enjoys himself. Some people, oh, I gotta create for somebody, it's a job, but he seems to genuinely enjoy it. So it's almost like he's thanking me for giving him work to do. So I really appreciate that attitude. Anyway, so today we're gonna do a little bit of a review. What's up? Anyway, this book right here, Tyger Blue. Okay, this is by RGB Retro Graphic Books, otherwise known as Maddie Fowler. This one came out 2018, evidently, right there. But I remember this one first came out. Oh, what's up, Genuine Comics? Hey, Dave Brink, what's up, man? Good to see you. And yep. Anyway, so now this is Jose Garcia. So obviously, know his work anywhere. All right. Now, okay, the good is this is a really unique. This is a really unique world. It's got a real pulp feel to it. It's got the old classic kind of. This is like if you took ninjas and the Isle of Dr. Moreau and stuck in a good dose of Flash Gordon and hit frappe. It really sounds kind of odd, that combination, but it's really got that retro sci-fi adventure, with like the we all like the animals that speak, the anthropomorphized animals, and this is like he's part of a experiment, and he's kind of like the he kind of like turns on his masters, and he's the only one that turns, so he's got to fight all his brothers, to kind of like thwart the evil schemes or whatever. The good is that it's really interesting world, really interesting conceptually. And the art is Jose Garcia. I mean, come on. I'm just turning to random pages here. Okay. It seems to be like really good in black and white. But that's also a drawback, which I'll come to shortly. But anyway, so this was very enjoyable. This is the first Tyger Blue. And also, I got the compilations, the Tyger Unsung, Tyger 2, Tyger Blue 2 Unsung. This is a compilation of different stories, kind of like, he kind of did in a way what we did on Out of Obscurity. He took a character, Captain Battle, which interestingly enough, Out of Obscurity had a story, a Captain Battle story that was like right up to the last cut, was going to be an Out of Obscurity. Yeah. Well, he made the cut on this one, so there you go. And so here we go. We got you know, now this is awesome too. It's got really cool conceptions. It's got the some really neat like characters. Now, this book here is a different recommend from the second book. So I'm going to give a different carrot rating for this one. But this one is hold on a second. Okay, this is a 4 carat. Not quite a 5, and not a 6. And the reason why is because the narrative was a little too convoluted, and it kind of like chased its own tail for a little while, and it's really kind of hard to tell what was going on at times. You know, and it was almost like the art took over the story to an extent. Now, there's a cartoon that Jose Garcia did of the last part of this book, the battle at the waterfall, and the cartoon's really cool. And it happens to be in this book, and and it's weird. It's like, I mean, I'm sorry, but that gets a little far-fetched after a while, I mean, how many swords can a guy take and still stay standing? Yeah, kind of bends its own rules a little bit. Hey. Hello, Aaron. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey.
Thanks for letting me hang out.
Doing all right. Just finished. Yeah, just doing this, finishing up this review. Yeah, so I gave it 4 carrots because it chased its tail a little bit, when it came to narrative wise, and it got a little convoluted and a little hard to understand what was going on. And the art overpowered the story a little bit. I mean, it was like, there's so much cool stuff going on in the art that I'm like, okay, this is really cool. Well, what's going on? And he's like, and so, I mean, he's like at times he does the superhuman things that he shouldn't be able to do. I mean, how many swords can a guy take, right? And
do they give like his power set or anything? Do they talk about that?
Well, they don't really talk about his power set. I assume he has a healing factor, but the damage is gonna, like, at some point slow you down.
Yeah,
and it doesn't seem to do that.
The 25th sword.
Right, exactly. Hold on a second. But yeah, so that's a good book otherwise, but I'm like, like as usual, it could have used an editor. I could have used somebody. It could have used somebody reading through and going, well, I don't know exactly where this is going. So it could have used a story editor, but it's still a really good book for carrots. Is still a solid book, still a solid recommend.
Well, Fowler, you were just saying that he has a story in 03, right?
Yeah.
And then Jose's the artist on my story in there too. What is Fowler?
Right.
What did Fowler write?
He did a Solomon Kane story.
That's right. Okay, he did the Solomon Kane. Right on.
Right. Now this one is it's a different animal here. Okay, the world's established, and it's kind of like this whole collection of group, and this one is so many good ideas in one spot. No editing went on, and so everything's in there. I mean, there's nothing was like simplified at all, and it's just like awesome stuff. I mean, awesome. It's Jose Garcia. But it's like after a while, you're just like you kind of lose the awesomeness of it because there's so much you're looking at and so much you're trying to follow.
Yeah,
And
too much going on.
yeah, and he's got all these little underling guys, and one of them gets taken out like in the first panel, and he spends the rest of the book in a coma for some reason. I'm not entirely sure the reason of. And it's got like two or three other little sidekicks, and I kind of figured out like a couple of them, but then there's this other one that came in, and I was like, oh, that's an entirely different guy. And because it's in black and white, I couldn't really tell the difference between them. And this book really should have been in color, because if you got that many costumes in one place, you need to have color to be able to differentiate.
It's just like kind of bleed together then.
Yeah. After a while, it's just like your brain's not able to follow it all. And it's and this is like so much going on, and there's so much cool stuff going on, and but I got to go back and I got to like go through it again and like read it panel by panel and like try to absorb it all, and it's just a lot of work to do that could have been simplified somewhat, and and I think in a way it's built for a manga audience, and maybe my brain's not built for manga.
That could be. I mean, it is its own style.
Yeah, and maybe I'm not trained for manga. Maybe I'm just not the audience for it. But I can see it's cool. I can see there's a lot of cool stuff in it, and I really appreciate it for what it is. But for me, on my I don't got my box of crayons. In my box of crayons, it's a little too convoluted for me. A little too overcomplicated, and too many characters, and I think putting them all into one place but then making it black and white was a mistake, because I don't think it does Jose any favors. I think Jose is great in black and white when he doesn't have a lot of action going on at one point.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Yeah, because after a while, all the awesomeness is there, but I kind of gets too D.
Yeah, right.
Because there's just not enough gradation. Yeah, there's not enough gradation to like give your depth to your eye. Because it's all black and white, and black and white works in a lot of ways. Your story, it works perfectly.
Yeah, I think he did a great job on that black and white. It kind of feels like an old Universal, movie or something, like that suspenseful.
If you don't have too many ideas in one place, and you only had two characters and a villain.
Yeah. I slowly went through it, Yeah, I didn't throw a lot at the reader.
Right, exactly. So once again, probably could use an editor. Probably could use somebody kind of like saying, Maddie, you need to simplify this. You need to like take one tact and go and follow this through. You need to take one character and maybe shorten. Maybe move it to another book. And spread it out a little bit. But he's having a ball. You can tell he's really having a ball, and there's a lot of joy in it, and there's a lot of fun in it. It's just a little thick of a read, a little difficult, and comics shouldn't be hard. Shouldn't be like a effort to read. I'm not saying it's lowbrow, but that it kind of takes away a little bit from it. But I
assumed it was just a lot of action. I mean, not just a lot, but I assumed it's a lot of action, right?
A lot of action, a lot of like, once again, you got that many supers in one place. You really need different colors. You really need something to differentiate them. I mean, one had a domino, one had another different kind of domino, and then one had like a. Then you got the one little kid.
Which one was that?
So, yeah, exactly. But then you got the one little kid, and it's weird because right here, and this right here, he had colors. Had the like little characters colored. Like, this is Dynamo Kid. This is Captain Battle, And so it shows that he had colors for them. And so I'm like, I was like, well, what wasn't this in the book,
Yeah.
And like kid Black Terror was in it. He's a little psychopath. And this kid right here is really cool. Too bad he's put in a coma like first thing and never came out of it.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
Oh man.
This little kid was in a coma the whole entire time, and I was like, wow, he seems like he'd be cool. I'd like to meet him,
Yeah, poor little buddy.
He's like Captain Battle's ward, and then the Captain Battle is like carries him in, and then there's no concern seem to be given the rest of the time. It's like that kid was your ward or something, right?
He's like, that's what he's here for.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, I guess he caught a bullet, Alas,
he'll be all right.
It's like a Batman dragging Robins into battle.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's just fireman carry him.
Yeah. And so I'm tempted to give it a 3 carat, but it's just too much enjoyment, too much joy to be had, and I can see where if my brain was different, I could probably enjoy it more. And
so it's still fun.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
There we go.
I'm just the problem is not in it. It's probably the problem's me. My brain probably doesn't work properly to really enjoy it. Maybe it might take some training I don't have because I don't read any manga. So.
Well, a lot of Jose's work is it's very flashy, or a lot of details. So it does take a bit to kind of take in. So I definitely hear what you're saying about a lot going on one page. I could see that happening easily.
Well, Jose is such a genius anyway. I mean, I'm sorry. I have to say that, when you see what's available in the mainstream and you see what Jose's putting out and the fact that mainstream turned him down and you're like, you turned this guy down? Okay.
Well, and his work has only gotten better.
Yeah.
I've known him for, 3 years or something like that, and his work has only improved.
Right.
I think we were on Shane Davis together, and even Shane was like, yeah, Jose, your work has really improved. Your art has improved. I was like, dang. Yeah. That's cool to hear from, somebody like Shane.
Well, some of these mainstream pros are in awe of him, so that tells you all you need to know right there. So for this book right here, Tyger Blue 2 Unsung, I'm going to give it...
Nice. I love it.
I'm going to give it 4 carats. Like I said, I think the problem might be me because the book is obviously good quality. It's obviously printed very well. There's some cool little package with it. And the art is just astonishing good. But it's to me, it's a little cluttered. Could have used some color and could have used some editing, some ideas. So that's me. But like I said, 4 carats is still a really high recommend. And so I would definitely recommend picking it up. It's in the RGB is the website is in the description below.
Nice.
I'm sorry, graphic books. Yeah, RGB. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Retro graphic books, RGB. All right. Cool. Unfortunately, it's like what is Ruth Bader Ginsburg is the same.
Oh God. RBG, yeah.
Right. So
the notorious RBG.
Yeah, it's RGB. Okay, all right. So anyway, all right. Which is weird. That whole cult around her was just so strange.
I don't get it either. I thought so too. Like I had some, lefty friends. Well, I guess they're not really around me anymore, but we were friends at one time before the world went crazy. And they were just like big fans of hers. I'm like, why? They just
you knew exactly how she was going to vote every time. You knew
exactly
I'm sure.
How she was going to vote. She was an activist judge to begin with, right? She came in the late 60s and little Jewish princess who became a judge kind of thing. Yeah.
Yep. And And she knew Roe v. Wade was always flawed, and she says that
Yeah, I think she argued against it at one point, didn't she? I don't
yeah, she
know.
did. She did. All right. Frost Comics says R.I.P. Captain Battle in 03. Yeah. Yeah. That story was kind of going to be like kind of a joke, And Captain Battle is in Unsung 2. Unsung Tyger Blue Unsung 2. Anyway, Tyger Blue 2 Unsung. All right. Got it right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate working on 03 to see all of the original crew that was going to try to pull through on all these stories and how many fell off,
Well, even the little jackass that kind of like tried to torpedo the thing halfway through, he even had a story. And when I was like, I turned him down at first, and then Luke had me turn him down, and then he was like bad mouthing me, and then Luke's like, oh, well, let's see if we can fix it. And I'm like, Luke, damn it, So I look bad, but he evidently did a good job fixing the story because Luke was allowing it in before he had his little hissy fit meltdown, and so I was like, man, I wish I could have read the story and see how he fixed it, because I can't conceive of how I could have fixed it.
Oh, really? I don't
Yeah,
know.
it was bad.
I
It was
know
really
the
bad.
guy you're talking about, and like I know him outside of that group. I missed all of that. I wasn't a part
Yeah.
of any of that. I think I came
Right.
in like not long after that or something.
Yeah.
But anyways,
Right.
yeah. So I haven't. Luckily I haven't seen any meltdowns or craziness that I've heard rumors of. So
Yeah.
maybe he's
Well,
matured. Maybe he's grown out of it. I don't know.
see, that's why he was allowed in the group in the first place, is because Luke was like, okay, well, I'll give him a chance because maybe he's matured. And for the most part, he seemed to be doing all right. And then he just like one day, maybe he got up and was a little hormonal or something.
Lack of caffeine he wasn't thinking straight.
Yeah. It was just like, I think Luke was like out of contact for a little while, and he didn't respond to him soon enough, and so suddenly it was like him, F Luke Stone and blah blah blah, and all that sort of stuff.
Yikes!
And then he's trying to get everybody to quit with him, and then we're all like, "We don't even like you, dude,"
Oh, yikes! Yeah, who's coming with me? Yeah, that's
like,
not usually a good thing to try.
right. That's one of those things you go out and it's like, "Who's coming with me?" And everybody like shuts the door.
Yeah, just crickets.
Right.
Then fuck y'all.
Well, it's funny because he went like out on Twitter and like started airing dirty laundry. And
see, that I don't agree with.
Yeah. And so I was like, well, let me see, dude. It's like this guy that you're bad mouthing in this group that you're bad mouthing. It's like, I don't see them like picking fights with everybody. And when you went out the door and you wanted people to come with you, nobody did. So that pretty much tells you all you need to know. And then I just blocked him. I didn't bother.
Oh,
but he was like in several of the projects. He was like doing colors in several of the projects. So we had to replace him, except for Jared for Ross Comics. He'd already colored Super Old Guy, so so he'd already paid the money. Jared had already paid him. He was doing the rest for like the agreement was he would do it all for free, because he's part of the project. But
sure.
But
That's
then
pretty
he was like, nobody can use my work, and we're like, okay, dude, it's not that good anyway,
Yeah, we were just kind of letting you do it, Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Hey, speaking of block, what are they talking about on Twitter about blocking? What about the block button? What's going on?
Elon Musk is talking about taking out the block button. So, I'll just say,
no more
good
blockings?
old Tom, nice enough to charge me. He was supposed to be doing it for free, and he charged Jared. So that's another little Weasley thing he did. So, because once he got in the group, he was like, "Hey, this is my rates. This is my rates," and everybody's like, and so Jared didn't understand it. He was really supposed to be working for free, and so Jared paid him. So that's why he can still use those colors. So he paid him It is weird. It's just a weird situation.
It
Well,
is, yeah.
Well, the thing I wanted to talk about today,
Yeah.
is what's next. We've won. Now what? Okay.
Ah, okay.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that we have succeeded in winning the culture war, but I'm saying that I think it's I think it's pretty much becoming one sided.
Yeah.
Um, it's like the other side is falling apart, or
Well, I don't think
they're
we've,
fighting with each other,
I
and
guess, like,
project
we
after
haven't really
project.
had that Alaric in Rome moment, though.
No,
That one breakout. I mean, Eric July was a huge one. That was great. That's like,
yeah.
the city folk are worried that Attila is running loose with the Huns. But that
Hmm.
doesn't mean that I don't think we've actually won anything quite yet. Not
Well,
until
the
the
thing about
crowds
it
increase.
is I think that we can probably say it at this point that it's looking inevitable.
Hmm.
Because
I mean, yeah, the cracks are definitely
the
starting to appear.
I mean, it just looks like the center cannot hold on that side,
Yeah.
and I mean I'm saying, okay, you know yeah, I'm not saying that we have arrived and that we've succeeded yet, but if when we do win, what are we going to do next?
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm already. I think we need to start asking these questions now.
I guess what will it look like? Like, are we just going to see
Right.
replacement corporations? Like, oh well,
Yeah.
these guys aren't as woke, but
Right.
they're not going to go very far as a corporation unless they
Well,
come up
I
to
mean,
that
I
teat.
do expect corporations to try to come in at some point and start buying stuff up, because they're going to understand that the product that they're being sold right now is, even though they've been told that it's like cutting edge, it's on the ed- the it's like, the message is like today. This is today's audiences.
Hmm.
Eventually, that lie is just going to become apparent to that.
Yeah,
It
they
might.
say it's for a modern audience. What they mean is for a postmodern audience.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to start understanding that this postmodern audience that they're pandering to doesn't really pay for anything.
No, and the
Uh,
rest, all of us don't really. I mean, most
us
people
Neanderthals that still believe in like,
look at the box office. I mean, that'll tell
exactly
you. Like, not everybody is in an upset fandom.
right,
Just a lot of
right,
regular normies and NPCs that go to see those things aren't going.
yeah,
There's a
no,
reason.
no, and I think Blue Beetle wound up being like, I think the box office is something like dismal, like 13 mil or something like that.
I saw last I saw was like 25 million opening weekend, but I'm not really paying attention. But I
Right.
did see that Critical Drinker was like,
Hmm.
turns out Blue Beetle wasn't bad. It's just about 4 or 5 years too late.
Right. Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
you have that too.
Well,
Like,
yes,
I'm not interested
it's
in Blue
just
Beetle. My kids aren't
no.
interested in Blue
Mm,
Beetle.
right.
So I'm I don't know.
Well, we'll see. The thing about it is, though, is they probably could have saved it somewhat
Yeah.
if they hadn't gone for the Latino representation angle. Okay,
Hmm.
and it's because they have they. Oh, okay. Hold on a second.
Well,
It
is
did
he?
worse than Morbius. Yeah. Okay.
I'm Morbin. It's Morbin time.
Morbius is
So,
bad.
I don't understand. Is the character? I don't know the character very well. I thought he was like a
Okay.
blonde white guy or something at one point.
Well, that's
Um,
Ted Cord.
okay,
That's the original Blue Beetle. They
okay,
race swapped him out for Hispanic uh, child, who was like, had this alien creature in the form of a scarab that like, fused with him, and becomes the Blue Beetle. Right.
yeah, yeah. It's
Uh,
very Spider-Man kind of. Well, that's in the movie? Is that true to the comic then, or
Yeah,
they changed
yeah,
it? Okay.
it's true to the comic,
I
but
don't
the
mind them
comics never
being,
sold.
Latin or whatever, or Hispanic or whatever you want to call them.
Well, yeah, but see, that's what they made the whole entire point of it.
But they leaned into the race. It's like,
They leaned
first of
into
all,
it.
I like that actor. I like quite a few of the
Yeah,
actors that I saw in
he's a
it.
good actor, yes, but
Dude,
the
he
I mean the
killed it
first
when
thing.
his crying scenes in the Karate Kid show. Come on,
Yeah.
dude. Not everybody
Well,
can
he's
just cry
good.
like that.
That kid can emote, but when you
Yeah. If you
start
can
going
ugly
out
cry, you should be an actor. Like if you
there
can
you
ugly
go,
cry on
there you
command, just go act.
go.
Get paid
Oh, no.
$100 million a day.
Bunny spot on. It came during a great diversity wave. Also turned Batwoman into a Jewish lesbian. Yeah, yeah. It was one of the first diversity waves that also produced Miles Morales. It was.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this was before the great Marvel Now debacle, and they also did something at DC. But this was like them testing the waters, and so one of the earlier ones was Blue Beetle, was Batwoman, and some of the other ones that they started like testing the waters a little bit, see what would be tolerated. Um, and he was actually in the what is that show? It's a cartoon show. Um, I can't recall. It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's one
Who,
of the
the actor?
DC cartoons. No, the character. The character.
Oh, okay.
It's a cartoon show, Aaron. Try to keep up with me. Anyway,
I'm with
all
you.
right.
I'm with you.
All right. So anyway, so they just pushed the Latino angle, and you know what? The same people that were pushing that Latino angle are the same people that tried to suppress The Sound of Freedom, which was directed by a Latino, produced by a Latino, shot in a Latino country with Latino extras and Latino actors, and written by a Latino. So,
Right.
and they tried to suppress that, and they tried to downplay the fact that one was a representation. But then they pushed the representation in this one, so the hypocrisy just does not hold.
Well, I mean, they just wanted to attack the Sound of Freedom because it was being pushed on the right, and to churches
But
and religious people, and
it pushed on the right.
it
That is the
wasn't
thing.
it wasn't politics in the movie. I've seen it. Like they
No.
don't preach politics in the movie.
No. It's
If they talk about
absolutely
politics,
no.
it's more of just like international law or whatever. Like, but they don't talk about the right is
Well, the
right
reason
and
we
the
wound
left
up on the right is
wacky or
because
whatever.
evidently the right cares more about children being trafficked than the left.
Which is crazy, right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's pretty nuts how
You
a
think
lot
that's
of
something we could agree on? You think that's
yeah,
something we could
exactly. You
agree
think
on?
it wouldn't? Yeah. My girlfriend says that all the time. She's like,
Yeah.
she's had it out with her friends lately or
Mm.
recently over so like the groomers and the maps and all
Right.
this stuff, and they
Right.
refuse to see it. Like, no, it's like, well, first of all, I'm saying individuals within a community. I'm not saying the entire community. Like they're
Mm.
talking to her like we've never known gay people, or like suddenly she is a flaming bigot who hates like I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what they
if
think.
you hate one, you hate all. If you don't rubber stamp
Yeah.
one idea, then you're against all ideas.
Yeah,
It's that
no.
absolutism. It's the the
Yes,
corporatism.
it's that
It's
collective
the
collective
collectivism,
ideal.
yeah.
Oh gosh, it's so
And
terrible.
so it's got
You
all.
can't have individuals within a group.
Well, the thing that's allowed them to take over the culture, and the thing that is starting to be part of why they're losing the culture is they are way more organized than we are. They are way more they turn as one, they attack as one, and they allow no gradations of thought. They allow
Sure.
but you have to be on board with everything.
Well, you
Okay.
have to remember that there is no opposition, no political opposition. Like they say they're no. Nope. How many times have the Republicans sat on their hands when they were supposed
yeah,
to be voting
absolutely.
against something? Right? Or in
Absolutely.
favor of something that's
yeah.
supposed to be conservative or whatever rights means anymore. And
Oh,
yet they
absolutely.
sat on their
Absolutely.
hands. You know, how many of them didn't have the Republican president's back?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah, you had a Republican
yeah,
president for 4 years, and all you did was like,
it's the uniparty.
undermine him, right? Exactly.
That's all it is. It's uniparty. You know.
Well, the thing about it is though, is they do take turn as one. They seem to like, and there's power to that, but eventually, because we're humans and humans have got to be able to express themselves. Eventually, that's going to break down.
Yeah.
The cognitive dissonance necessary to subvert your will to a collective is not something that you can maintain forever.
Yeah.
Unless you have mental illness, which is what's happening. You're seeing a lot of mental illness.
Well, and some people are cracking under all this craziness and tension, and they're becoming crazy themselves. So
exactly. And so the thing about it is, though, is what happened when it all retracted before, and the counterculture swept in and became the culture, and then suddenly, family values went out the window. Suddenly, parents weren't staying together anymore, and a lot of these.
Well, I mean, a lot of that was pushed and planned.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, and there's proof of things, like the Frankfurt School, and I don't know.
Operation Mockingbird. Yeah.
Like there's so much. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into all that. But so like there is a concerted effort by an ideology to do this, and they started it back right after World War II.
Right.
The hippie movement. The hippie movement. Are you serious? That was all
hippie
programmed.
Movement, right? The hippies that are now like pro getting vaxxed, whether you want to or not.
Listen to Big Pharma, man. No, we need more money to send to the war. What are you talking about?
Well, I'm going to pull my music off of Spotify, but if you don't mute Joe Rogan and take away his free speech.
Yeah. Okay. I see you too. Well, see, and the thing is consider it this way. Consider the British Army during the Revolutionary War. It's a large, lumbering army. It was frightening when to face off head to head.
Right.
But what was it that helped take it down? Well, sure, there was an army. It wasn't as big, but a lot of it was the average, the decentralized soldier, the guerrilla warfare fighter. And that's kind of where I look at the parallel economies and the indie scenes and the small little things popping up outside.
It's like the French and Indian War. That's where the Americans learned guerrilla warfare is from the French and Indian War. The first defeat that the British had on continental United States, what later became the United States, the first loss that they suffered was the Green Mountain Boys. It's about 50 miles, maybe as the crow flies that way, roughly. A place called Kings Mountain, okay? And the reason they lost was because they messed with a group of people that had an agreement with the state. You leave us alone, and as long as you leave us alone and let us police ourselves and have our community, we will come to your aid if you need it.
Kings Mountain. What is that? Pennsylvania?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. My bad.
Right. And so what happened was these guys, they all showed up with Kentucky long rifles.
Sweet.
And they all fired from behind, like from long distances behind trees and stuff like that. They did not.
Yeah.
The battle was like in the woods, and the British were not ready for that. As a matter of fact, the British officer that was over that army said, I'm not going to come down from this mountain until there's a victory. And you know what? He's still there. He's buried up there. So, maybe not make declarative statements. Okay?
Yeah, anyway, prophetic.
Exactly. He's still up there. So,
that man's a prophet.
Exactly. But you're right. I mean, the internet especially has decentralized everything, took everything away from LA and away from New York, and has allowed people, ordinary people like you and me, and Oliver Anthony out in his backyard, out in the middle of the sticks, taking getting a video made of first time he's had in front of a camera and a good mic, and then suddenly,
Yeah, right.
they get
Well,
the
and that's just it.
guys.
Like the big dinosaur media conglomerates, they're just kind of like slowly bleeding out. I don't think
They
they
are.
realized it until recently. I think now they're starting to, oh shit,
Well,
I'm
they're
bleeding out
trying to shift.
way more
Yeah,
than I thought.
they're trying to shift to the internet and trying to start heading to the internet. But the thing about it is they disdained the net for so long and turned their back on the internet for so long, and like said, it's just a bunch of hillbillies, with the webcams. We don't have
Hmm.
to be concerned about that. And the thing about it is as they turn around and their audience is dying out.
Yeah.
The people watching cable, the people watching network news is dying out, and most people are getting their stuff on like YouTube now.
Yeah, they
And
got the big conglomerates got used to all that money, just those
yeah,
eyes that couldn't go look at anything else,
right.
and now they were so blinded by their own opulence and privilege that they
Hmm.
didn't realize, sorry for all the historical stuff, but like go back to when the Mongols took Babylon, right? He's like,
Yeah.
he picks up a gold plate. He's like, you could have hired 50 soldiers to stop me. Fucking kills
Hmm.
the guy. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, you've become too comfortable.
You weighed in the balance and found wanting.
Yeah. And just it'll be over time, but they're slowly
Yeah.
bleeding out. And all that money, that's just their blood.
Hmm.
They're getting it
Well,
from somewhere,
the
and
thing about
it's
it,
not from all of us. I know that.
no, no, it's not from us. But they're not able to turn on a dime. It takes them years and years to pivot, and
Yeah, exactly. They're so big and lumbering.
yeah, and so as this dinosaur finally figures out it's dead, you know, you know that paleontologists used to say that the dinosaurs were so big that they wouldn't even know that they had a fatal wound, before they died,
Hmm. I'm not
because
surprised. I mean, I
there's
don't know.
so much space between the brain and the rest of the body that
Right.
they could have been dead before they realized it, and I think that's the mainstream. It's so that they're dead, they just don't know it yet.
Well, just think of how inefficient they are anymore.
Mhm.
All their retarded graphics and the over the top,
Right.
productions and
Yeah.
and they only have like, 50,000, 100,000. Meanwhile, somebody in his basement like
Hmm.
me,
Yeah.
can get a million or something. So
Well,
with
there's a
this or less production, he walk
yeah.
around with his damn camera phone and
Right.
draw eyes.
Well, the interesting thing is, I was watching this video of this black guy and his group that they decided to hop on some Harley Davidsons and go to up to South Dakota, Sturgis,
Hell yeah. It's
and
just I went through there earlier this year.
yeah, and he was and he's like, well,
It's gorgeous.
the people have told us that we don't belong up there. Not the people from Sturgis, but like other black people have said, well, that's all white people up there. You don't belong up there. He's like, so we're gonna go and check it out. And so, but he went up there and he had like
He's like,
multiple. Yeah,
you're right. We don't
exactly.
want you there.
Well, but he had multiple camera angles. He had a drone with a GoPro on it,
Nice.
and so they would just do all these beautiful sweeping shots. And this is a guy who's just got a few thousand subs, and
Yeah.
he was like doing documentary filmmaking that's on
Right.
par.
Yeah, the
This
individual artist doesn't have to, get on their knees to
right.
get into the front door, to get into the mailroom.
Yeah,
They could just
yeah.
do their art now and get better at it,
And
over
oh, by
time.
the way, when they got up there, they were completely welcomed and had a good time.
Oh, of course. Of
Of course they
course.
did. Of course they did. And yes,
I mean, because it's
yeah,
like this. It's like, I don't really know. Like you can say, oh, that guy's a racist. Why the white guy he
right.
doesn't like blacks, or whatever. But then it's
Yeah.
like, really, when he's around like a cool black dude, there's never a problem, right? Because they're similar in interests or something, or
Exactly.
even just like agreeable personalities go a long way, you know.
Right.
So it's not just he's got darker skin than No, it's the stereotypes that they carry with them. If they're walking around, they can't dress themselves, like pull up their pants all the way. Yeah, I don't want them around me either.
Exactly. And but the the bottom line though is that this is an individual that just decided to go on this road trip with his pals. He
Yeah.
had he had multiple camera angles. He had this overhead shots, and and it was. I was watching this and I'm like, this looks like a damn documentary. And this is something that guy threw together on his laptop.
4K video on a drone, over a national park. Sure.
Exactly. And did a fly around Mount Rushmore. And it was like it's like this somebody did this on his laptop. So
doesn't need a giant crew, doesn't need, plane tickets, from New York.
Does not. No. But that's not saying that, that I don't feel for the people, not the freaking actors and not those god awful writers, but the people who actually are, like extras in movies, and the people that are doing the lighting, the people who are doing the audio, and people that are actually doing the damn work. Sure. I'm not talking about the talent or whatever.
No, I know what you mean. I know somebody who's in the I know him well, but I know somebody who's in the business who builds like sets and stuff. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I feel for those people, but the thing about it is it's the ecosystem is changing.
Yeah.
And what you're seeing is the dinosaur, still bleeding like it's still alive, and it's walking dead.
Doesn't know yet, right?
know. But the thing about it is I think what's going to be important from here on out is authenticity. They've got to see something in you that's genuine, right?
100% agree.
And I mean that's why that's why this guy in his backyard managed to have #1 on iTunes and Spotify. And he's still like kind of like confused by the whole thing, and
and a part of it is these the people who back us they are not just backing our projects, they're also backing us as people,
right?
Which is cool, because it's one of the things I like about backing projects that I like is I'm helping somebody else. I'm helping out. I'm not just like helping Rockefeller Plaza pay its light bill.
Exactly. Before I go, let me see if I can bring this up. Let me show you.
Ooh, something new.
Yeah,
they believe
in us. Yeah, they do. They do. Well, sure. This was just sent to me by Animane, as a matter of fact.
Ooh.
And so let me bring this up. Let me share.
You need to talk to that dude.
You really do. Now I didn't win his contest. He kind of had a contest on, but so let me go ahead and do this. So I need to read.
You better have a good reason for cutting the engine. We don't have time for this.
I need a word, Kieran. You owe me that much.
This is not the dock, Jack. Speak your mind, but make it brief.
The last time you trusted intelligence like this, we ended up on the business end of a damn harpoon. Sidewinders asking you to do the impossible and defy the most dangerous organization in the government to do it. This is not your fight, Kieran. Not anymore. They made sure of that.
And what, Jack? Run away from what they did? If not me, then who else? Who else is willing to defy them? To stand up and fight? You? No, that would mean doing more than steering the damn boat.
And now I'm not even good for that. Unless, of course, you plan on putting us down.
I didn't mean... I can't back down now. The world already thinks I'm dead. If I walk away from this, I might as well be.
Well, then get off my boat, landlubber. I'll either see you at the rendezvous or be drinking a toast to your stubborn patriotic corpse.
See you there. Prepare for company. Stay out of the rum.
No promises, friend. Now give him hell.
Please, Lord, help me save them.
Dang, dude. That was awesome. Who did that? Anime?
Anime, yeah.
That's pretty cool, man.
Romo's like it. Well, I mean, the voices weren't exactly what I had in mind, but
that's okay.
It gave me goosebumps when I saw it. It gave me goosebumps when I saw it because it's like, you know, he definitely brought it to life, you know.
Yeah, that's one of the things I like. I like to, if I've written something and somebody else reads it in their own cadence and their own voices and you know, stuff like that. It's really interesting to hear how somebody else reads my material. You know, it's neat because it's not, you know, it's not necessarily how I imagine it. So it's always neat to hear somebody else's interpretation. You know.
Yeah, well, Jared thinks it's cool.
Awesome. Yeah, for sure. It's great. I like it.
Yeah. So I may go back and see if there I can like do voices of, because in my head Ironsides always was more of a diplomat, you know, kind of like a more cultured sound. You know, that there was nothing wrong with what Anime was doing for Jack, but I had a different voice in mind for Ironsides, and so I may see if I can you know, just change that vocal. But
sure.
And he did a great job, though.
Yeah, he did. That's cool. I've seen that scene, but I really liked the way that he put it together. It was really nice. I would love to do something like that, just like all the time. I'm the guy on the TV
playing the dude that's playing another dude. Yeah.
I'm the dude. Yeah.
I'm the dude that's playing the dude that's playing another dude.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
I gotta go back and watch that movie. It's been a bit.
You know, it's funny they keep trying.
I never thought it'd be. I didn't think it'd be quoted this much.
They keep trying to cancel that movie, but black people love that movie. They adore that movie.
It's good stuff.
It's hilarious, and it's like just, you know, it's just because if you just, it's like that place of authenticity, you know. You know, you come from that authentic place, and people like respond to it. They really do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, what's next? You know, when I believe when myself, I might be Pollyanna, but I believe when we win, you know, now what? I just I think that the world's our oyster. You know, I don't really think there's any limits to what we can do. You know.
I like it. I agree. I think we just keep doing what we've been doing, and it'll break through.
Yeah.
It'll come through. There'll be so much content that people will just be like, "What? You know? Oh my God, what's going on over here?" It'll happen.
Well, the normies, man, they're starting to wake up. They're starting to understand that, you know, they're starting to like really understand how subpar what they're being offered is, you know.
Impossible. I've been told repeatedly by people in Hollywood that really it's just people are still scared of COVID, so they don't want to go in.
No,
it's nothing to do with the shitty writing and the crappy acting. And
biggest, 4 of the top movies for 4 of the studios have happened within the last 2 years. And so, I mean, either the top earning movie of all time or close to being the top earning movie of all time. And it's happened just within the last little while.
Well, but I mean, I always look at those suspiciously because, like, adjusted for inflation, you know, they always say, "Oh, it's the top, you know, grossing movie ever." It's like, well, yeah, because the dollar's worth, you know, less. You got to spend more to buy, you know, the same.
Most of those are adjusted for inflation.
So wait, what was the movie that did it?
Okay, for Sony, it was No Way Home. It's the top earning movie of all time. I think
It was
close
good.
to, it was close to $1 billion. I think it was,
Not
maybe over $1
surprised.
billion. Yeah. For Universal, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's the Mario movie that came out earlier
Oh,
this
okay.
year.
Another good one.
Yep. For Universal might have been Top Gun Maverick, but
Ooh.
yeah, I think Universal was Top Gun Maverick. But you know, anyway, I don't know the name of the studios, but I know it was Top Gun Maverick. It was No Way Home, the Mario movie, and then recently Barbie movie made a ton
Barbie,
of
yeah.
money.
I wanted
And
to go see it, but I
yeah,
took my son camping,
uh-huh,
and my girlfriend and daughter decided to go see it without us. It's
yeah.
like, fine. I thought
Well,
it looked hilarious. I heard that it was kind of like satirical feminine, a satirical look at
well,
feminism, which sounds
actually,
funny. That's, I think, a
actually,
part of the cracks,
that's
right?
not what they intended it to be, but that's what it wound up being. But they're it's a springtime with Hitler, the springtime for Hitler. Okay, they are so incompetent that what they intended it for it to be
Yeah,
wound up being a parody of what
yeah.
it wound up
Looking at you,
turning it
Starship
into a
Troopers.
parody. So exactly. I've had more than one person compare that. But the Kens, they're supposed to be like these objects of derision and kind of objects of disgust, which is
Yeah,
what they intended for them to be. But they wound up
right.
being the heroes of the movie, and they wound up
Yeah,
being like the most compelling characters in the
yeah.
movies
Hi,
and everything.
Rorschach.
So there you go, Rorschach. It's a Rorschach, yeah. But
Disgusting,
right,
disgusting, violent criminal, but he's the hero. There's some
exactly.
subversion for you.
Right. Well, it's funny. There's this according to all the reviews I've seen, I haven't seen the movie, but there's
Yeah,
this moment where the kids take over Barbie Land, and everybody seems to be enjoying the new
yeah.
way
Like,
things are
this is
going.
great.
And then the Barbie comes back with the other Barbies, and they're like, "Oh, we gotta fix this." And so they like kidnap people and like brainwash them back into believing that things back the way
Re-educated.
things were.
Put
And so
him in re-education camps. Yeah,
exactly, and then
sounds about right.
everybody goes back to being miserable, and the Kens go back to being second class citizens, and it's like, okay, things are back where they're supposed to be, and it's like a real example of just how toxic femininity really the third wave feminism is.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
that's
not
not
feminine. Trust me.
it's like that's not what they intended to happen. It's what the movie winds up showing.
Yeah,
So of course she's gonna have full reign when she gets the hold of Lion Witch in the wardrobe. So looking forward to that.
uh,
She's that incompetent. She's gonna really ruin.
who
It is
knows?
what it is.
Maybe it'll be the next classic.
I'm Ken Nuff, Bad Bunny. Yeah, there's a
Enough.
lot. There's a lot of puns having to do with Ken. You know, there's a lot of puns, the Ken puns that are going around right now. So anyway, um, all right. So thank you for coming, everybody. Once again, the Tyger Blue and Tyger Blue 2 Unsung. I think Tyger Blue is available on the KGB website, and I didn't see Tiger Blue 2, but it might be he might have combined them both into a bigger book. I'm not sure, but I'm recommending those 4 carats out of 6. Um, you know, I I didn't quite enjoy them as much as I hoped that I would, but maybe it's because I'm not, it's not my way my brain works.
Paige
But
has got too much going on.
for me, they were, but I could
Hmm.
see where other people would just have an absolute ball with them. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm recommending. Um, anyway, so
Wait a
thank
minute.
you.
First of all, I just want to say, you have balls, because like nobody,
Mhm,
there's not a lot of people out there who want to do reviews. Like
mhm,
everybody's so nervous. Oh, I don't want to do a review because then I'll be nailed
right.
to a cross or something. It's like, well, we need to hear this stuff. Like these
Yeah.
these comics, they need reviews. So kudos to you for stepping up and just talking about it. You know.
Well, I mean, it might be why my book is having such a hard time being funded. I don't know, but it is what it is. Maybe I'm too honest for my own good.
It'll get there, buddy. It'll get there.
No big deal. No big deal. With that animating thing, that's definitely gonna be a
so
tool
cool.
in the belt. So
Yeah.
definitely. I'm just gonna put some stuff onto that, and maybe change the voice of Ironsides, but it's a great thing to have in your quiver. So we'll work on that.
If you need any voices, let me know. I'll do something. I got one.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, you got a good voice. You got a good voice. Kind of got that, rumble to it. All right. Well, thank you everybody for coming. Thank you to the fluffiest chat and all of you too. And as always, remember to follow the white rabbit. And we will see you next rabbit hole. Have a good one.
Peace out, guys.
Bye, everybody.